Hey guys, so I made a video a few days ago about how to go insane, examining every single definitive statement, thought, and belief you have for a limiting belief, which pretty much every single thing that you think and believe is, because your thoughts and beliefs are the definitions for the way through which you experience the world. They are limits. That is what they are. They make structure in your life so that you have a way to experience and interpret and judge and, do anything really in this physical world. That's what they are. And so if you get confused about a belief that is a limit, because they all are, and a limiting belief, which is something which legitimately is holding you back from moving forward, you could go crazy trying to sort through all this crap. And so this is more of like a practical video. And hopefully it's a short one, because this is something to just think about and start to implement like immediately. One of the big things that I've gotten from my stepfather over the year, I've gotten a few nuggets from him, and this was one of them. I think this comes from a well-known author. I don't know who it is because I didn't read it in a book. I heard it from my stepfather. But basically, there is a way of prioritizing, which has, without this, if he hadn't told me this particular thing when I was, 24 or something, it would have been so much harder to run a business over the years. And this also takes a little practice to get good at. But what you want to do is, with anything where you have a lot of things to sort through, and this can apply to limiting beliefs or things you are wondering, is this a limiting belief that I need to do something about or put any energy or focus into? You want to divide anything like that you have a big list of into 4 categories. Do things that must be done, things that are important, something that is a major limiting belief that is holding you back. Delegate, which means you give it to somebody else to do. This doesn't quite apply to your limiting beliefs, but you could take some of your beliefs and say, I'm not sure about this one, so I'm going to hand it over to divine intelligence and trust that divine intelligence will reveal more about this to me as I need. This is the 4 Ds. We just went through do and delegate. The third D is delay, meaning, okay, this is something I should look at, but it's not that important right now. Like right now, I'm struggling with a belief that I am not smart enough to move forward in my life and get a better career. That really needs to be addressed. That's really holding me back. But I have this other belief that I don't really like it, but it's not as important. All my focus needs to go on this bigger thing right now. Get this thing taken care of, and then we can come back to this delay limiting belief or whatever you're applying the 4 Ds to. And the final D, and in my opinion, this is where like 90% of everything should go, is discard. Don't worry about it. Only focus on the important things. Every day and every moment, the things that you are trying to prioritize are going to move around on this list. And if you discard something or delay something, believe me, you're not going to be able to miss it if it comes back up and elevates to the level of do. But really, you should be focusing the majority of your focus, energy, and attention on the big stuff. People get really sidetracked, and this is just a general life phenomenon too that I see with other people. They get sidetracked by the things that don't matter that much, and then the big things don't get done, or they don't get done well or right. So this is this is one of those little things that is incredibly important. A couple of years ago, I was having a moment of self-congratulations about my business, and I was feeling proud of myself. And I was thinking, why is it that supposedly 4 out of 5 businesses fail? 4 out of 5 businesses never had a chance because they didn't have somebody running them that had any clue what they were doing, and or they were a terrible business idea that was never going to go anywhere in the first place. By the way, if you're a person that wants to have your own business and you've heard that statistic and it scares you or it defeats you, it's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. If you could see the dumb businesses that fail, if you could see the dumb management of good businesses that make them fail, oh my God, this, hold on, let me finish my original thought before I go off on a tangent. I was thinking to myself, what is it about me that is making this work so well? And it was obvious instantly, it's the prioritizing. I am so good at this 4Ds thing. Thank you, stepfather. I'm so good at this. Like it was probably always something I was naturally kind of good at anyway, but when I started really thinking about it in those terms, it took me a little while to discard and delegate. Delaying is easy, doing is easy, but allowing other people to do important things was difficult for me, and discarding things. Like I would get my, I'd make a to-do list for the day on a really busy day. And there were things I really wanted to do. And it can be kind of hard to just say, that's not going to happen. Like on Christmas Eve or something, like a busy day like that for me. It would be hard for me to say, I intended to go like get flowers to bring to my mom's house, but that's going to take 30 minutes and I don't have it. In the past, for a long time, I would cram every single thing like that into my day and be completely frazzled, angry, irritated. Just, I couldn't even enjoy like the Christmas Eve party I was going to then, because it took me, I had to have like a drink or something and calm down for 45 minutes. I started getting a lot better at crossing stuff like that and go, well, it sucks that I didn't get to that, but that is not something that is necessary. It doesn't need to be done. And it's not going to be worth it because I'm going to be overextending myself. So getting really good at that is important. And it's definitely why my business is one of the ones that is a raging success and not one of the 80% that fails, where somebody spends their life savings on an idea that has not proven itself in any way just because they have this, they're clinging on to this need, or because it's an ego-driven thing. I've seen so many people have like, on my bucket list is own my own business. It's like, what? Really? That's not what this is. That's not how this works. It's not some fun thing where you're like, I'm the owner. No, it's like, I was awake till 3 a.m. today because there was shit that needed to be done and nobody to do it but me. So, yeah, but I was going off on a little tangent. In my industry, my vendors, oh my God, these people, sorry, it's 15 degrees out. Some of my vendors, people, some of the like, reps, that are the go-between between me and vendors, have told me, you've got to understand that these are artists. They're not business people. So like, I remember somebody saying that to me when we must have been talking about how awful, like they are awful at fulfillment on time. I mean, most of them, some of the companies are good, but they're just like really bad with getting stuff out when it needs to get out. They have a predicted date for when something's going to release and it doesn't. They like ship your stuff the worst, slowest, most expensive way. It's just like, they're so bad. Or they like, if they ship stuff to you for free, if they like offer to do it for free, I'll order some big thing and then like 2 things will be left out of it. 2 heavy things will be left out of it. And they'll like 2 weeks later, they'll ship it to me for free. And the shipping costs twice as much as the product. Like they not only didn't make money, they lost money. Like all these things contribute to them failing. And we've been getting all these communiques like where I'm just like, why are you telling me this from these companies? They're just like oversharing about their problems and stuff with, and I'm just like, look, do you have a product for me to purchase for resale? Is it available? Can I buy it? When will I get it? That's all I want to know. I don't want to know about all your business problems and how terrible you guys are at running a business. And how, like there's a specific company where the company is really old and it's owned by like the grandchildren of the original guy. And they are just awful. They're just awful. They're the board members. They obviously suck at running a business or doing whatever CEOs or whatever the board members do. But they're not bringing somebody else in to fix it. They're just continuing to try to do it themselves, and it's not working. Anyway, all of that to say that when it comes to anything you're doing, but I mean in this area where it's like, I think there is like this deluge of information. There's this deluge of self-examination that starts to happen when you really get into the manifesting stuff, when you get past like the BS stuff and start really reading Neville Goddard or whoever, and thinking about your self-concept and all that stuff. It can become overwhelming really fast, but you don't understand how easy it is to stop that. You just discard like 90% of it. It's the 90% of unimportant things that are causing it to be overwhelming. It's the 90% of concepts being presented to you that you don't really need to think about or worry about. It's the important stuff that matters. This is also the Pareto principle, the 80-20 principle, that you're going to get 80% of your results from 20% of your efforts. It's the same thing. You're going to get 80% of your manifesting results from 20% of your efforts. You're going to change your life 80% with, one big shift in self-concept. So, if you, and the other really bad thing about this is that this is like encouraged. It's like a vicious cycle in a way. People get overwhelmed. They talk with other people who are overwhelmed, and they start commiserating and deciding that that's just what needs to be done. And they start supporting each other, sharing knowledge with each other. That's just like leading everybody down the wrong road. And so, this is manifesting advice, and it's also extremely, extremely helpful life advice for getting the important things done in your life, focusing on the important things. I mean, you can think about this in any way. It could be about things that you have to do. It could be about beliefs that you have, but, it could also be about all the areas of your life, your relationship, your kids, if you have them, your job, your health, your passions, your hobby. If you look at these things, you can just sort of start to mentally weight them. What's important? What can I just get rid of? Like for me, I have some like undeveloped talents I would like to, focus on. Like I've always intended to and wanted to play guitar, and I used to play piano. God, sorry. I used to play piano when I was a teenager because we had a piano in my house and I had nothing to do. So I learned how to play it. I couldn't play anything to save my life now. It's gone. That was like 30 years ago. But, I've always been like, man, I have talents in this area and I should develop them. But there's no drive to do it. And without that, that's a thing that I put in the discard pile. If there's a point in my life where I have a lot of time because like I've sold my business and I'm just like hanging out and focusing on other things like that, then that thing will come up and there will be a different feeling towards it. So you don't really have to worry about these things. They will represent themselves even if you throw them in the discard pile. The discard pile is to take it out of your daily mental energy sucks, because they are there. If you don't close those things off, it is amazing what you can do when you keep all of your energy within your own bubble. This has been my issue with this channel in the past with comments and stuff. My energy starts going out towards all these other things. So far, so good with that. I had a moment the other day where I could almost visualize, I could almost see everything being sucked out. And I stopped, I put my phone down, I went in another room, and I just stood there quietly for like 5 minutes, if even that. I just said, my energy is starting to dissipate in all these directions. And mainly, what that really just means is my mind is starting to live somewhere else other than right here, right now, with the things I'm working on in my own life and dealing with in my own life and all that. I don't want that. So just bring it back to right here. And I kind of just imagined it all coming back. This is really helpful if you use your imagination for this. You use your visualizing for this. I just imagined it all sort of coming back into a sphere around me, and you could feel the difference. I could feel the difference. that was the only time I've had to do this so far, where I started to just get like too out of my own present moment. But yeah, it's amazing what you can do when you just have all your energy available to you. And it's not going out to the politics pendulum or the drama in my family pendulum or, you know, the online message board pendulum. Those are really bad. Just when you can get it all back into your sphere and you have prioritized your objectives correctly, it's amazing what you can do and how fast things can change, how fast you can manifest changes in your life, differences in your life or something that isn't working. It's just amazing. So I don't think I've ever made a video on this before. I made a post about this at some point in the past, but I'd truly say this is one of the biggest things I've ever gotten from my relationship with my stepfather. One of the most impactful things. And I'll tell you one other bonus thing that I got from my stepfather. This is the other thing. This is another thing that I use. I don't use it. It's just my orientation towards goal setting or intention setting. Intend for something way bigger than what you want to achieve. And then in the, you know, for lack of a better term, in the striving to get that thing, you will end up further than if you had set an attainable goal. You'll fall short of the big goal, but it'll still be past where your original goal would have been. It's just, I think that's just a human thing. So I always set my intentions really high with the understanding that the intention is not to actually necessarily achieve that goal, although I've achieved plenty of lofty goals. You know, this isn't like a death sentence for the lofty goal. But if you understand that the idea is to get as far and as much as you can with that goal, and that it will be better if you're striving for something even greater than if you set a reasonable, attainable goal, you know, then it's not going to bother you when you don't reach that final goal completely if you don't, and you get further than you would have otherwise. So, useful life advice: everything in life is manifestation. Everything in life is world is your reflection. Everything in life is as above, so below, as within, so without. Everything in life is these concepts. So everything that applies to life applies to manifestation. I hope that made sense, and have a great day.